Welcome back to the definitive sanctuary for nuanced celebrity discourse. Welcome once again to Whatever You Need. If you are seeking the superficial foam of fleeting headlines, you have arrived at the wrong harbor. Here, we dive deep into the currents that shape the lives of the stars we admire. Today, we transport you to the ancient, shimmering heart of Istanbul, to an evening where silence spoke volumes, and a shared glance held more power than 1,000 press releases. We are about to unfold the tapestry of a night where beloved icons Hazal Kaya and Kagate Yulasoy graced an intimate gathering, carrying with them a secret that would soon turn whispers into a tidal wave of collective joy. Before we step past the velvet ropes of this exclusive event, ensure your connection to our community is secure by subscribing. If you appreciate storytelling that honors the subject matter, press the like button. And for those amongst you who wish to support the architecture of these deep dives and gain access to exclusive Inner Circle content, we extend a warm invitation to click the Join button. Your support is the lifeblood of our detailed reporting. Now, let the ambient noise of the world fade as we enter a hidden courtyard in Istanbul. The atmosphere in the curated corners of Istanbul's cultural elite is often thick with the palpable energy of performative socializing, yet on this particular evening, the air shifted the moment Hazal Kaya crossed the threshold. It was not an entrance marked by the popping of flashbulbs or the aggressive fanfare of a red carpet premiere, rather, it was an arrival defined by a profound, almost tangible serenity. The venue, a historical enclave known for its ivy-strangled courtyards and the flickering warmth of innumerable candles, had been chosen for its ability to foster genuine connection over spectacle. The guest list was a meticulously crafted mosaic of Istanbul's finest minds in art, fashion, and media, a crowd that understands the value of discretion. Into this soft-focused tableau stepped Hazal, radiating a luminosity that transcended the capabilities of mere cosmetic enhancement. She was clad in an ensemble that spoke a language of understated grace, a flowing garment designed not to constrict or showcase, but to gently drape and comfort, accompanied by delicate accessories that caught the ambient light only to frame her inherent glow. It was that unmistakable radiance, the kind that seasoned observers recognize instantly as having nothing to do with the external world and everything to do with an internal, burgeoning joy. From the very first moments of her presence, eyes were drawn to her, not because she demanded attention with volume or theatrics, but because she possessed a gravitational pull of total calm. Those within her immediate orbit, the friends who can navigate her silences as easily as her sentences, noticed the minute alterations in her usual rhythm. There was the way she bypassed the celebratory champagne trays, opting instead for a crystal glass of sparkling water garnished with a simple twist of pomegranate. There was the gentle way she landed her laughter, keeping it soft and contained, and her distinct preference for the quieter peripheries of the room where conversations could unfurl without the interruption of aggressive networking. And then, there was the undeniable anchoring presence of Kagate Yulasoy. He hovered within her space with that effortless composition that has become his signature, emanating a subtle, protective energy that communicated volumes without uttering a single possessive word. Together they moved through the intricate social dance of the evening like a cinematic sequence one wishes to replay endlessly. His actions were a masterclass in intuitive partnership. Offering her a seat moments before the thought had fully formed in her own mind, a gentle, almost imperceptible touch to her arm, when the nostalgic playlist swelled momentarily too loud, leaning in with total absorption when she spoke. They shared infinitesimal smiles that seemed to communicate a private timeline, soon. Not just yet. But very soon. While the wider room may not have initially possessed the full cipher to decode their interactions, there exists a universal language of profound connection that even the most aggressively private couples cannot entirely mask. The speculative whispers began in earnest, fueled by Hazal's repeated, polite declinations of alcoholic beverages, each refusal accompanied by a sparkling-eyed deflection that only served to stoke the room's collective guessing game. She was not hiding in the shadows. She was savoring a reality that was not yet public property. Fans and critics alike have long admired her authenticity, and on this night, that authenticity was operating at its highest frequency. We must pause here for a moment within this narrative of elegant secrecy. The dynamic between Hazal and Kagate on this specific night highlights a maturity that is often rare in the blinding spotlight of fame. Here at Whatever You Need, we are curious about your perspective on star pairings. Do you find yourself drawn more to the high-octane, public romances that play out on social media, or do you possess a deeper respect for the quiet, steady partnerships that guard their privacy fiercely, like the one we are describing today? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And remember to become a true insider in our community and help us continue to bring you these detailed narratives. Consider hitting that join button today. As the evening deepened and the ambient hum of the gathering seemed to push them toward the inevitable truth, Hazal navigated her way into a tight, protective circle of her oldest confidants, the keepers of her history, the celebrators of her triumphs. It was within this crucible of shared warmth and proven loyalty that she chose to break the seal of silence. Eyewitnesses situated near this emotional epicenter swear that a collective intake of breath was audible. That universal, soft sound humanity makes when life turns a significant page. There were no grand speeches, no clinking of glasses to demand the room's attention. With a smile that outshone the venue's elaborate chandeliers, and a voice trembling slightly with the weight of happiness, she allowed her closest circle entrance into the secret she had been cradling. The news was met not with raucous noise, but with a wave of pure emotion. Eyes glistening with sudden tears, hands clasping tightly, and laughter breaking through in joyous ripples, quickly melting into a series of profound embraces. Kagate's reaction was a poignant scene unto itself, a study in steady devotion. Observers noted that his gaze remained anchored to her throughout the revelation. He lifted his own glass of sparkling water, clinking it against hers in a quiet, private salute that transcended the need for alcohol, a toast in a language known only to them. He tilted his head, whispered something that elicited a brilliant laugh from her, and pulled her into a brief but powerful embrace that articulated more love and support than any sensationalist headline ever could. It did not take long for the energy of that revelation to burst the confines of the ivy-covered courtyard and spill out into the streets of Istanbul, eventually flowing into the digital rivers of social media feeds and trending lists. As they departed, someone captured a fleeting photograph, not an intrusive paparazzo assault, but a candid moment of Hazal stepping out, still wearing that beatific smile, her hand tucked securely into the crook of Kagate's arm as they approached their waiting vehicle. Even in that split second, the aura of calm was unmistakable. By the time the city's clocks struck midnight, the digital landscape had transformed into a torrent of joy. The reaction was overwhelming and universally positive. Comments poured in from diverse segments of their fandom, those who had followed their individual journeys for decades, and those who had long carried a torch for their unique off-screen bond. The trending topics bloomed with their names, accompanied by sentiments like, "Her glow finally makes perfect sense," and "We suspected but respected the silence." The entertainment industry itself responded with remarkable warmth, reaching out with affectionate messages and anecdotes highlighting how grounded Hazal has remained despite years of blinding attention. Parallel to this were tributes to Kagate's steadfast nature, the friend turned confidant, turned anchor in a life that often swirls with chaotic noise. Insiders now whisper that Hazal had known for some time, consciously choosing to cocoon in peace before sharing the news with the wider world. This has involved a deliberate shift in her professional rhythm, being highly selective with scripts, closing her laptop earlier in the evenings, and greeting her mornings with gentle stretches rather than frantic schedules. This leads to the inevitable question that hovers over every beloved star entering a transformative new chapter: what of the career? For Hazal, the answer appears to be a beautifully curated balance. She is not vanishing from the artistic landscape. She is refining her engagement with it. The focus has shifted entirely to quality over quantity, to projects that honor her current state of being and characters that embrace depth without demanding grueling hours that might compromise her well-being. The compass is set differently now, guided by meaning rather than mere momentum. And as for Kagate, those who know the couple best attest that he is exactly as steady behind the scenes as he appears in front of the cameras. He is the master of the quiet check-in, the provider of easy humor when spirits need lifting, the handler of practical details that ensure her comfort. In an industry that often packages intimacy for crude public consumption, Hazal and Kagate chose a different route on that memorable Istanbul night. A whisper before a shout, a circle before a crowd, a moment of truth before a press statement. In a world deafened by noise, two of Turkey's brightest stars chose the volume that felt authentic to their souls. In a time dominated by screaming headlines, they chose the quiet resonance of heartlines. This is why the news from that intimate evening does not just trend and vanish, it lingers in the collective memory. It rests in the hearts of fans who value tenderness over spectacle. We will continue to watch from the respectful distance that such genuine love deserves, awaiting the official milestones and the quiet updates that will surely follow in due time. Thank you for joining us for this detailed recounting of a beautiful night. This has been a presentation of Whatever You Need. Before you leave, please ensure you have subscribed and liked this video. And once again, for those deeply invested in high-quality celebrity journalism, the join button awaits your click. Until next time, may your own whispers carry as much joy as those in Istanbul.